Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera. Nama saya Shazreena Nurfarahin, pemegang nombor matriks BP 21110101. Jadi untuk memulakan video ini, saya akan menunjukkan cara untuk mengimport data. Pertama sekali kita akan membuka SPSS kita. Ini merupakan dataset yang baru. Seterusnya kita akan membuka data bagi ahli kumpulan yang pertama. Memandangkan ahli kumpulan saya mempunyai 5 ahli kumpulan, maka dalam dataset yang baru tu terdapat 50 data yang akan dimasukkan. Jadi bagi yang pertama, kita akan pergi ke variable view dan pastikan data yang dimasukkan di sini adalah sama dengan yang akan diimport. Seterusnya kita akan membuka dataset yang baru dan kita akan masukkan yang pertama iaitu ID dan label ID. Okey. Seterusnya adalah gender dan gender dia merupakan string. Tukar string dan bytes kita tukar ke 60. Okey, sudah. Label gender. And then value kita akan tambah 2, iaitu yang pertama adalah lelaki dan kedua adalah perempuan. Okey. Seterusnya adalah fakulti, merupakan string. Sorry, bagi gender ya numerik pula. Okey. Okey. String 60. Fakulti. Okey, seterusnya adalah program. Program string. Tukar label program. Values tiada. Okey, seterusnya adalah year. Year merupakan numerik. Label year. Values kita akan tambah 4, iaitu 1 untuk year 1, 2 untuk year 2, kemudian ke year 3, 4 year 4. Okey. Jadi kita akan lengkapkan data yang disediakan dan perlu masukkan ke dalam file ini. Baiklah, setelah selesai memasukkan data yang diperlukan seperti ini, kita akan pergi ke data view. Seperti yang anda lihat di atas, semua sudah lengkap. Ambil data ahli kumpulan yang pertama untuk dimasukkan ke dalam data view. Pertama sekali ID. data ahli kumpulan yang pertama dan masukkan gender, seterusnya kita akan balik kepada fakulti. Seterusnya kita akan balik kepada program. Dan kita akan lengkapkan kesemua data ahli kumpulan yang pertama dan import ke data view ini. Baiklah, setelah selesai data ahli kumpulan yang pertama, seterusnya kita akan masuk bagi data ahli kumpulan yang kedua dan juga yang seterusnya. Oke, kita akan teruskan untuk memasukkan kesemua data ke dalam akan input data ke sini. Baiklah, selesai untuk data ahli kumpulan yang kedua. Seterusnya kita akan teruskan dengan data ahli kumpulan yang ketiga hinggalah yang kelima. Ini merupakan setelah selesai, ini merupakan data ahli kumpulan bagi kelima ahli kumpulan. Di sini terdapat 50 data dan ini merupakan variable view kami. Oke, itu sahaja untuk bagi cara untuk mengimport data. Sekian dan terima kasih.
Hello and greetings to everyone. I am Lynne Hsu Shi Xuan with metric number BP21110198. And in this part of the video, I will show you how to carry out the data filtering process in SPSS. So firstly, from the menu bar, select Analyze, and then click on Descriptive Statistics, and click on Frequency. Here you can see all of your variables and choose which one you wanted to filter. So for example, you wanted to filter the data for gender. So you can select gender from this column and click this arrow in the middle to move it to the other box and click OK. So here you can see the table for valid and missing data. So as you can see, there's no missing data for this variable. So next, you have to scroll down a bit to check the validity of the data to see if there is anything that you input wrongly. So if you found any missing or wrong data, you can go back to data view and search for the mistake and fix it. And after all is correct, you can move on to the next variable. So to filter the rest of the variable, you just have to follow the same steps as previously that I've shown you to make sure all of your data are valid and was entered correctly. And that is all for the data filtering process. So next, I will show you how to compute your data and create new variables based on your existing variables and also sum up the variable scores. So firstly, from the menu bar, select transform, then click on compute variable. So here you can see all of your variables. So moving on, click on the target variable box and enter the new name of the variable that you want to create. For example, if I want to sum up the total scores for satisfaction with life scale, I will write SWLS total. So next, from the function group option, select statistical and click on sum. Then you can click on this arrow that I have highlighted to enter this to the numeric expression box. After that, you can select the items that you wanted to sum up from this column right here. So for satisfaction with life scale instrument, I have labeled the items in the instrument with SWLS1 for item 1, SWLS2 for item 2, and so on. So for SWLS total, first select the first item of this instrument and click on this arrow in the middle to enter it to the numeric expression box. So next, enter a comma, then select the second item and click the arrow in the middle again. So repeat this process until you have moved all 5 items into the numeric expression box. So when you are done, remove the extra question mark right here and make sure that there is no space between the items and the commas in the parentheses. Click OK, and you will see the new variable that sums up the scores for satisfaction with life scale instrument in the new column. So to sum up the total scores for depression, anxiety, stress scale, you just have to follow through with the same steps as previously I have shown you and just change the item that you want to sum up accordingly. So for depression, use all items that was labeled with D. And for anxiety, all items labeled with A. And stress, with items that are labeled with S. And that is how you compute data in SPSS. That is all from me. Thank you.
So continuing with the previous datasets, now we are going to do descriptive statistics. So first just click on Analyze, click on Descriptive Statistics, and then just click on Descriptive. When this window shows up, just move all of the variables except for the random ID number. When you have moved all of the variables, just click on Option and just let the default setting be and just click on Continue. Click OK. And here we can see the output for the descriptive statistics.
Assalamualaikum and warm greetings. I'm Syafiqah Binti Elias and I will be showing you how to use SPSS to do a basic independent sample t-test. Generally, this test is used to compare the means of 2 independent sample groups, no more and no less. This test will tell us whether the 2 groups are significantly different according to statistics. Without further ado, I will begin. First of all, you need to compile your data like my groupmate had done here and determine the independent variable and the dependent variable. In this case, the independent variable is gender, which is categorized in 2 different groups, male and female. As you can see here, the value 1 represents male and the value 2 represents female. The dependent variable is what we will calculate statistically, and I will be using the satisfaction with life score or SWLS. After that, make your null hypothesis, where the null hypothesis will be using if there is no difference between the 2 gender, male and female, on satisfaction with life score or SWLS. Now that we established that, let us proceed. Click on Analyze in the toolbar up here and it will list down some options. Next, click on Compare Means and you will see the option Independent Sample t-Test. Click on this and this prompt will pop up. Remember the dependent variables we determined earlier? Just drag them to this box here under the test variables. You can also just click on them and then click on this arrow here to move it. For the grouping variable right here, we will select our independent variable gender. You will see these two question marks in the bracket here, which represents the two groups. So you need to click on the define groups and this prompt will pop out asking you to confirm the values. As mentioned earlier, the value 1 represents the male sample group, whereas value 2 represents the female sample group. If it doesn't show automatically here, that means you haven't set the values to represent groups in your variables. Click OK. Before that, you can adjust the settings a bit here in options, where you can adjust the confidence intervals and missing set values, while Bootstrap here allows you to set even more details for your t-test. You can even check the sample sizes effect if you want that, but we will not be using this, so I will deselect it. After everything is okay, just click OK and the output will be displayed here. You can see two tables. One is for descriptive analysis and the other one is the independent sample t-test. Based on this table, we know that the males have a slightly higher mean, 20.0588, than the females' mean, 19.5455. Now, I will explain a bit the important basics of interpreting the t-test table. First, we look at the significance here. It is 0.898. If it's above 0.05, that means that equal variances are assumed, so we will look at the data in the upper row here. Then, we look at the significance here in two-sided P. The difference between one-sided and two-sided is the direction of your data. Generally, if your null hypothesis is for determining the increase or decrease of data, then you'll use one-sided. But if it can go either way or you're examining the difference, like our null hypothesis, we will look at the two-sided P. So similar to before, if the significance is higher than 0.05, then it means that there is no significance difference. Therefore, we can accept our null hypothesis that says there is no difference between the two genders, male and female, on satisfaction with web score or SWLS. Fun fact, if you look at the 95% confidence interval difference here, you'll observe that one is negative and one is positive, meaning that it crosses 0. When that happens, it supports the conclusion that there are no significant differences between the two groups of data. That will be all for me. Thank you.
Thank you to Shaf as the fourth presenter. I am Vera Angelin Pongou, who will do multiple regression analysis and output part on the SPSS. This is to test our null hypothesis whether stress, anxiety, and depression has influenced life satisfaction. Our independent variable chosen are stress, anxiety, and depression, while the dependent variable is life satisfaction. So here I will continue with my part, which is multiple regression analysis and output to test our null hypothesis. As you can see, I have opened the data consisting of 50 people. So next, I will click on Analyze and choose Regression. Then click on Linear for this one. You will see that there's a section of dependent and independent. So referring to our collected data, find the concluded data, which is the SWLS, and click here to insert as the dependent. For independent, we got this 3, so put all 3 in. Make sure the method chosen here is enter. Then click on statistic button. Ensure that it tick on estimates and model fit. If it is, then click continue. After that, we'll go to the plot section. For while, we'll use ZRESID. For X, we'll use ZPRED. As for the standardized residual plots, we have to choose the normal probability plot, then continue. So after all that, Finally, we will click OK. This might take a while. So what will be shown here? The variable enter, model summary, ANOVA, coefficients, residual statistics, and our chart. That is all for multiple regression. Further explanation will be on our report. That is all from me. Thank you.